Hey YouTubers, this is Matt, the Access and Excel Maniac, and today I'm going to start teaching you about Access. What I'm going to do, it's going to be kind of cool, is I actually need to create my own Access database. So I'm going to invite you to come along with me while I do it. So let's jump in. Now, the first thing you'll notice about Excel is it's very different. When I click and do a blank database, it's actually going to force me to create a file, and I'm going to save a file. This is different than Excel, where you can just kind of open up a spreadsheet, mess around, and close it. Access, you've got to have a database ready to go. So I'm going to create a database. I'm going to call it time tracking, and I'm going to create the database and store it. Now that I'm in Excel, now that I'm in Access, I should say, you see here that it's defined with Access Objects, and the Access Objects piece is really core to understanding Access. So there's various different types of items that you can create. There are tables and basically what we do in Access is we separate things into these different components. Tables, and understanding these components is really critical to understanding Access. Tables is where we kind of start, and tables are where we actually store data. You can have a database without tables, but it would be really uncommon to do that. Queries allow us to kind of view those tables in different ways. So we can say, for instance, we had a table that had orders in it. So we can say a query will allow us to do orders between January 1st and January 31st. Or if we were doing time tracking, which is what I'm doing in this database, it would allow us to view the time items that we had between two certain dates, etc. So queries allow us to do that. They also allow us to join multiple tables together. So we might have, if we were doing, say, orders, and I keep picking on orders just because it's an easy one. If we were doing orders and we had one that had the customer information in one and the order numbers in the other, we can combine those to combine the table that's got the order info along with the customer info, like what the company name is or what the shipping address is, etc. Forms are the next item that we have, and this is how we actually interact with the database. So forms allow us kind of like this graphical interface that we can use to collect information, navigate around the database, do all kinds of different cool things, as well as execute other scripts and reports as well. Reports are just what they sound like. So they are reports on information that's there. We could use this to be a report. So for instance, I'm doing the time tracking database that I'm using to track the time that I use to help different clients with their Access needs. And so one of the reports that I'll create will actually be a bill that will get created that will show the client information, what the information is, and what information I'm billing them for. Two pieces that we don't see here are macros. I'm not going to cover macros a lot. They don't get used. They're very similar to Excel macros. Macros are steps that are programmed into the database that can be run. I'm a big believer in using modules, though, and modules are actually VBA code, and believe it or not, we're going to jump into some VBA code in that. So anyway, these are the different types of Access items. Access by default creates a table, and so I'm going to call this table time tracking. We're just going to do the basics here. I'm going to rename this table to call it time tracking, which it's not going to let me do here because I'm in it. And I'm going to go to design view, and now it's going to make me save it. So I'm just going to call this time tracking. And there we are. We've got our first table, and we're going to come back later and do video to actually record the information. Hope this has been helpful. Again, this is our quick initial dive. We'll do more as we go forward. Thanks for joining, and subscribe and like.